Yo, what's up? Good morning. How's everybody doing? I am Darkpool Algo, and thank you for joining me on another morning watchlist building session. Today is Thursday, December 23rd, 2021, and guess what? Today's Friday, even though it's a Thursday. Hold on, I gotta open something real quick. I want to open. We want to look at the SPY. Yes, we want to look at the SPY. So, good morning. Hope everybody's night was well. Hope everybody's day was well yesterday. I know that some people out there were killing it yesterday. For sure, we got beast numbers hit, and that has been Google's been my ATM for the last couple of weeks. So, morning, Anthony. So with that being said, we're going to look at some news. We're going to get into the overall market, which looks pretty strong. First thing I want to say, and just please, today is going to be low volume. Most of the smart money, hedge funds, large institutional traders are gone, dude. They're on vacation. They're on their yachts somewhere in the South Pacific, right? With that being said, this is probably going to be a very retail heavy day. I may look at some Russell stuff. I've got a couple lottos that I want to look at. The shop 1430s look pretty decent. May get into looking at a couple other ones as well. We have a little bit of news to go over. We've got some economic data coming out that is probably going to affect the market. And what else? What else is there? I think Elon's done selling, so Tesla may start factoring into things again. But with that being said, just please make sure that if you get into a play that you're willing to take zero as a loss, or you're willing to get in and get out, right? I can't stress it enough. Low volume can't hold stocks up. Stocks want to fall down, okay? With that being said, if you have any requests, please get them into me now. I'm trying to make this, I'm trying to restructure the stream a little bit so that we get through stuff relatively quickly, right? So that we can get into those plays that everybody wants to see. All right. If you're not familiar with this chart, what the screen you see in front of you, this is the new FlowTrade, currently in beta. We are going through and making some adjustments and testing. It's amazing. Definitely mass improvement. So if you haven't had your trial of FlowTrade yet, let me know. I'll post a link in the description to get you a 7-day free trial. Also, we will be talking about the Beast Numbers. Beast Numbers is a new service that I am vetting, for lack of a better word. I've been using it for the last couple weeks, and so far I have zero complaints. The service is very well structured. Holy Bank of America. The traders are extremely knowledgeable and friendly, and the data is accurate. So if we start aligning flow index with beast numbers, I think that's just going to be a winning formula, especially since market makers cannot really, well, we're tapping into market maker type numbers where we're actually getting the best value options value, right? So if you're a market maker and you're like, hey, the best point for me to get into this option or to sell this option is at X, is at level X, especially if prices came down to a support zone, like a Keltner channel, for example, right? And the options premium has came down to the beast number, right? What happens is market makers are like, hey, if we get in above this level, we're going to be losing money. So let's load the boat at these beast levels, right? Load the boat and then just scale out. Now, these are a lot of these are day trades, not necessarily for swing trades, because it is grabbing the option at its best value and getting rid of it at its maximum potential. Okay. You held AMD overnight. Oh, man. Yes, AMD. So AMD was rough. I'm going to be looking a lot more into AMD. I've noticed that it's real close to the Qs, right? It's real close to NQ. So if you see NQ moving, AMD is probably going to move as well. More so than like Google. It's just it's really reactive, and I think it's because it's a lower high large cap. Does that make sense? Like it's a lot more affordable than say Google or Tesla. Like so, there's a lot more transactions being made. Okay. With that being said, I can check in on Twitter, and see if there's anything that is important, and if not, I'm going to jump right into the news. I'm going to go through this really quickly. I've already screened it. I'm just going to pull out the important stuff, or stuff that I feel is important. So if I start not covering something, oh, should we see what our Tesla move did? Let's just go ahead and refresh this screen. Right, I drew this line yesterday. Let's see what it did. Let's see how good I am. Shall we see? Shall we see? Oh, look at that. Looky there. Looky there. Looky. There's my move. Right? Here's my move, right? And this would have been this one. Come on. Jeez. So we did it. We made the move. We rallied up through the 4 hour. Right? We back tested it. We moved on up. So this would be the back testing, and this would be the fourth move up to the 200. I mean, it hit like pretty much spot on. So I think we might go ahead and move on up into those dailies, right? Or the weeklies. Move on up into the weeklies. Pretty slick, isn't it? Why is that? Oh, whoa! How do I get? Oh, did I update it? Is it working correctly now? Anyway, regardless, Tesla slingshot squeeze, ready and fire release. We got it's not quite a double green yet down here on this bottom indicator, which is the JT multi-trend. This is a simpler trading indicator, but it's not specific to simpler trading, if that makes sense. If you're interested in this lower indicator here, that is a culmination of some exponential moving averages, right? Let me know. Typically, we like to get in on double greens and stay in. All right, let me get into this news because I really want to get into some plays today. Okay, JD. Everybody loves the JD. It's that Chinese ATR. It's down 8% after Tencent said it would pay a 16.4 billion dividend to shareholders after reducing its stake in the e-commerce company to a little over 2% from the current 7%, and a sale of about 457 million shares. Tencent president came out and resigned from the e-commerce group's board. So from 74 to 67, right? Right off of that. Right off of that. I don't know what is going on. Why isn't it? There's something off with this. I'm gonna have to memorize these numbers now. Dang it. Ooh. It's okay. So they bounced right off of it. They're currently in like the 15s or the 5s. Looking to dead cat bounce. Possible dead cat bounce off of the sucker. Down to the weekly bottom. Right. So we're trying to get back up into the 4 hour, up into the daily. So one of two things is going to happen with JD. It's going to continue to break down into this weekly bottom, down to 63. Below the weekly bottom at 62, it hits 58. Contrarian, it dead cat bounces, and we get a rally up to the daily top at 71, right? Which is also at 5,200. Like, this is a pretty decent level. So there is a zone for those of you that like the zones with me. Take from the bottom here, and then the pre-market high. So there's the zone that runs 70.50 to 72, right? If it can get into that zone, it'll trade in that zone, break out, and continue running. Contrarian, it rejects. Looks like it's already making its move back up. It rejects the top of the 4 hour, which is this green line right here. All right, the top of the 4 hours at 68.19. It rejects that and continues to sell off, right? Ready and fire sell signal, double red. What is up with this? Why can't I? Nope, that doesn't work this one. There we go, double red, which means the moving averages are all stacked negatively. So it's got some downside pressure, pretty massive drop, downside, look for that bounce. Okay, moving on. I'm going to leave up the futures as I talk through the news, and we'll switch back and forth. Hopefully everybody's okay with that. I don't want to do the 4 hour. 4 hours looks pretty decent. Ooh, look at that move. Rally, pullback, rally, pullback, rally. So this is 1, 2, let's see. Is this third, fourth? So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth leg, an Elliott wave, 4750. Today's going to be a great day. All right, moving on. Third shot of COVID-19 vaccine from AstraZeneca. AstraZeneca coming in with AZN. AstraZeneca and the University of Oxford is shown to boost protection against the highly transmittable Omicron, according to a pair of laboratory studies from researchers at the University of Washington and Oxford. Okay, AstraZeneca is coming up into breaking out of all of the Keltner channels, which would be trifecta mode. Well, maybe not all of them. So it won't hit trifecta till it breaks the weeklies, but it's definitely coming out of the top of the dailies in the 4 hours. We've got the weekly mid at 58.45 and the 50 SMA right above that at 58.68. So there's a potential move here, right, on this pullback to the daily for a launch up. Ready and Fire has fired off. Double green, it's a little oversold, right? It might need to pull back and take a little bit of a break to the 13 possibly, or just test this daily top. Looks like it might have already done that pre-market. So the safe play is above 50, above the yesterday's high, above 58.15 for a move to 58.50, 75, and then finally 60. All right, that's AstraZeneca. Gilead, moving on. Gilead found that its drug is effective. Oh, remdesivir. Yes, this is going to be important. Look at that inverse head and shoulders. It's gorgeous. I might play Gilead today. Looks like it's coming into some overhead resistance, right? Triple top on that, but it should get through it with this news saying that its remdesivir is effective at reducing the risk of COVID hospitalization. Data published from the New England Journal of Medicine found that there was an 87% risk reduction of related hospitalizations or all-cause death by day 28 compared to the placebo. All right, let's look at that. Let's plot this move, shall we? We got a mid-thrust sell or buy. We got double green. We got a squeeze that might that should fire off to the long side. We're running into daily top. I think the 4 hour top at 73.50 is definitely reachable. The only thing I don't have on this chart, which I could really use, is the ATR. So I don't know how much it moves a day, right? But it is definitely coming up and double topping. So if it can get through 73.50 is coming up pretty decently. I don't know how much it moves a day, so I can't really give you a target on it. All right. Oh, that felt good. You guys got to remind me not to hunch over so much. Teva Pharmaceutical announces launch of its first-to-market generic version of Narcan, which is, this is important. Narcan saves lives, okay? I don't care how you feel about people that are struggling with addiction. Narcan saves lives, and I think it should be readily available to everyone, including schools, right? We don't want people overdosing, and Narcan saves lives. So Teva Pharmaceutical announced the launch of its first-to-market generic version of Narcan in the U.S., which means that it's cheaper for people to buy, right, and cheaper for people to hold. Seriously, drug addiction and the opioid, that's a weird word. Opioid epidemic is no joke. And I think that this drug should be readily available to all teachers, right? I think that they should be able to administer it because you never know when some kid's going to be struggling with something mentally. And yeah, anyway, drugs are bad. And I feel very strongly about drug supporting people that are having problems, okay? Because nobody's perfect. All right, so nice little bounce off of the weekly bottom, 4 hour bottom, right up to the 4 hour top. Kind of been consolidating a little bit. It reached all the way down to almost the weekly bottom, daily bottom. If it can break through the 4-hour top at 850, 875, 886 on its way up to approximately $9. So I think Tiva might get some news off of that. If you play these small caps, these little penny stocks, the safe moves above 850 for move to 875, and then finally 9. Moving on. EPZM, we've played this before, I believe. Maybe not. So this is another one of those penny stocks that are about to die. They've been fired by GlaxoSmithKline. Oh, come on. GSK is elected to hold on. One second. Yes, that was part of the issue we had yesterday. If you're interested in cloning stuff, I can look into a different one, but I would have to stress test it first. Sorry. All right. Apologize for that. So basically, EPZM got fired from GlaxoSmithKline. They elected to terminate the collaboration and license agreement without cause. They're like, peace, kick rocks. All right, Invax, Novavax, another one of these healthcare stocks. Nice little move. Let's see, what did it do yesterday? So sold off yesterday, rallied right up into this new little 5200 multi-time frame simple moving average study I'm working on here. Currently very oversold, double red, mid thrust sell. It's got room to 182.75 and potentially all the way down to 178, right, before it finds some support. They did come out with data today saying their data shows broad immune responses against Omicron, citing broad responses with 2 doses, more with 3, said a third dose of its drug produced a rise and increase after a booster dose. What does that mean? Their data is saying that they get a pretty decent response with 2 doses, better with 3. This is when Omicron news came out last week or a couple weeks ago, and they shot to the moon. They failed to break the 200 SMA. One second. No, there's always been a clone plugin installed of some sort. I mean, they're downtrending. I think lack of volume. Even with the news, I think they hit the 4-hour bottom today at 178. Then from there, maybe back up to 195. But they've got a lot of overhead resistance, negatively stacked moving averages. Interim, like maybe we'll just have to play it by ear. It is, look what it's forming though. It's forming a big old giant FU head and shoulders, right? So if it comes down here and bounces back up and then fades off, okay? So we would have to find a clone plugin to use. We went with Yoast because of Yoast being the best. So you can reactivate it and just use the clone portion if you'd like, or I can find you a different one that just clones. Keep in mind when you clone something, it's going to append the slug with a number 2 or 3. Okay, I'm sorry. Like, it's 5:30 in the morning and work stuff is coming in. All right. Again, sincerely, I apologize. All right, moving on. In energy, industrials, and materials. So we had 4 people were injured in a fire that erupted Thursday at Exxon's complex in Texas. That is ticker symbol Exxon, XOM, right? So rally, fire erupted. They probably pulled back here. Consolidation. Big old bull flag forming. I don't like these red 10x bars, right? I don't like seeing stuff moving up with red. This is the power of the slingshot squeeze, though. This squeeze released 200 support right up into the week or daily mid. ExxonMobil, it's got overhead resistance here, right? It's got to break that overhead resistance. It's also got to break above the 4-hour top at 61. Based on that news, might see a little bit of a pullback for a move to the upside, or it just chops. So this is ExxonMobil. We've got what do we got going on down here? We've got some double. We got a little choppiness, is what I'm seeing here. So overhead resistance, falling 200, falling 50. Chop between the lower time frames with overhead resistance at the 4-hour top. Looks like monthly mid too, or monthly top. No, monthly mid. Just if it rejects here, then we can play the downside move back to support at 60, right? If it breaks through, resistance 61.50, above 61.88, it's probably the safer play up to 62.63. Okay, that's if you're interested in playing Exxon. All right, so check it out. Nikola, their shares are up 3% from $9 to $10. Way to go, right? Super chop fest. Their shares are up 3% after the startup said on Twitter that more deliveries were to come, posting photos of a previous event. They actually produced a vehicle for real this time. So, I don't know about this one, to be honest with you. It's got so much bad publicity, but it's in such a great buy position, right? Like, for real, it's it's dirt cheap, right? And it's got room to move. If it is, if they do end up coming out with a true vehicle, I mean, it could be a $40 or $50 stock. Currently, it's trading all the way down here at the lows, $9.74, $9.75. It hit $9. So based on what happens, this could be a short seller's dream, right? I personally, I don't know. I might throw some money at it for the long term just to see what it does. It looks like it's holding 9 pretty decently, right? Definitely could be for, I don't know. Yeah, just do what you want. I don't know. And Tesla, the Tesseract disclosed in a regulatory flying overnight that Elon sold another 333 million shares of common stock on the 22nd after exercising 2.1 million. Everybody's like, oh, Elon stopped selling. Guess whoopties. All right, Tesseract. The Tesseract is doing its job. Right, it got above the 50. It's coming into the weekly top, right? That weekly top runs 1042 to 1089, right? It kissed 1030 pre-market. I don't even know what to say on Tesla right now. Tesla does what Tesla wants to do. Above 1030, we get in the weekly cloud. Previously, when it's got in that cloud, it's got a quick little pop to 1071, right? And I think it's getting poised to launch. So if you played it yesterday, like I was like, hey, Tesla's in a good buy zone, let's get into it. You did well. All right. Currently, though, either Tesla's going to rip to. Sorry, let me just find some previous. Let's do some zoning. 1050 to 1075, right? That's pretty easy play. Does it hit 1100 today? Very well could. Okay. I would look to above 1025. So basically, if it takes out pre-market high, look for a back test and a continuation on. We've got support at that runs basically 1010. Let's throw a fib on this pre-market move, shall we? Come on. So the pre-market move down to yesterday's low. That's not the move we're looking for. Is it this one? That's pretty decent there. All right. So Tesla, it's currently at support. I think I want to run the move from yesterday's low to yesterday's high. Come on. Right. Broke the one. Is that right? I think that's pretty decent. Look at that 618 pullback. Beauty. Rally, consolidate, broke through it. Hasn't hit the 127 yet. So I like 1040 for Tesla, 1050. Possible pullback to about 1,000 if it breaks 1014. All right, so in Tesla, if it breaks yesterday's high, look for a pullback to around 1,000, right? And then that move up to 1031, 1040. If yesterday's high holds the open, look for a quick pop to pre-market HOD, right? Profit taking pullback into a 618 retracement. So take the initial rally, right? Do a fib from there to the low, wait for this 618 pullback, and then play the 618 up to the 1414. Okay, that's Tesla. As far as numbers go on Tesla, let's see what we got here. Let's see. I'm looking at some numbers here. Give me a second. I'm giving you guys some Tesla numbers. What did I say? 10, 1030, 1040. Let's see. 1030, 1040 is on Tesla. Oh, it's so close to being caught up. I am so close. Oh, good morning. What's up? Predictive Trades is in the house. If you have any questions about beast numbers, ask them. They will give you the answers. I can't give them to you on stream, but I can give you strikes that I like, and you know what I mean? Those are gorgeous. All right, the 1050s have got a ton of open interest and ton of volume. I don't think we had 1100 today, but we could. Those 1100 would be pure lottos. So a year ago, I bought some like Tesla 1000 calls at 25 cents. They ran to $10, right? I don't know if we're gonna get another one of those kind of days. I don't think we got enough volume coming in, but I think I might load the boat on these 1030s, right? Depending on, let's see how they open. Yeah, the 1030s or possibly these 1040s. I'm gonna try to get them for anything under $2, right? Okay, moving on. AMC. Everybody loves AMC. So this is positive news for AMC. AMC announced that it has reached a lease agreement and plans to restart reopening theaters. Opening theaters in Los Angeles and Chicago. The apes loved that news, didn't they? AMC, so here it is. Remember I said we may have a gamma squeeze coming into the end of this week. Is it going to be AMC? Are we going to get that massive rip roaring rip, right? It's got a little bit of overhead resistance. It's got the 4-hour top coming in at 4-hour top coming in at about 30, from 30 to 32. Got that rising 200 we got to get above. So the safe play for AMC is above 32.50 for a move to 36, above 37. Taken out. Yeah, so above the 4-hour 50, right? So above 32.50 for a move to 35. Play the daily cloud, right? Weekly mid from 37.50, 42.81, and then up to 50. Ooga booga AMC, let's effing go. Dude, they're going to rock today. So AMC may be the one. It should be fun. Economic news, I'm just going to show it to you real quick. Right, 830 jobless claims, personal income, personal spending, PC prices, all of that, right? So with that being said, Hold on, I just gotta note something here real quick. I would love to do an interview. It doesn't. Okay. So the group that predicted trades, I'm still working on it. I've said predictive indicator for the last 2 years, so I'm just gonna take me a minute to say predicted. Predicted trades. I'm trying to get him to do an interview with me so that I can ask some specific questions, and he can share that information. So we'll try to get that set up for y'all. Okay. We do have some information that's gonna rock the market. It's gonna rock the bell, y'all. Okay. Let's see. Oh, whoa. Good time to look at futures. Oopsie. We got a big pullback in NQ right here, right? So numbers came out. I don't know, they didn't come out yet, did they? Nope, they come out in 30 minutes. So we had a quick algo pop, right? I don't know if this is the wick killer, right? If this is John Wiki Wick, where it goes up and it snatches all the stop orders for a move to the downside. Got to be aware of that. Okay, I'm going to read the rest of this news and we'll get into the overall market outlook, okay? After posting one of its worst weekly returns last week, U.S. stocks are looking at a strong rebound into the close of a shortened holiday week. We are closed tomorrow, and I think we close early today too. That's why I'm saying if you're going to trade today, get in, get out, be done, right? Don't lose your booty today, okay? Futures are on track for another higher opening, building on Wednesday's broad rally after an upbeat economic data with hopes of the severity of the Omicron coronavirus variant is minimal compared to the Delta variant, right? In South Africa, a study suggested that reduced risk of hospitalization and severe diseases in people infected with the Omicron variant, helping boost sentiment in shares of cruise, travel, and leisure names, which surged for a third day. Did we not play CCL? Oh, dang it. We might have to look into that for a little lotto. Positive news about additional booster shots improving broader immune response from some companies also help, as well as bets that Biden's Build Back Better, BBB, the Triple B spending bill can find support despite Manchin's refusal. In Asian markets, the Nikkei index gained 237 points, Shanghai gained 20 points, and Hang Seng is up about 91 points. So in Asian markets are up, which is generally an indicator that we'll have kind of a bullish day. In Germany, the DAX is up and the FTSE is up. So global perspective, markets are up. So in the overnight sessions, the Asian markets are up, and the German market or the European markets are up. So that's usually pretty good for us. So what I'm not liking is this move on crude. Right? Not liking this move on crude. And then finally, news flow is quiet heading into the open, but a busy day of economic data, personal income and spending, weekly jobless claims, PCE inflation data, durable goods, confidence, and new home sales will keep investors on their toes early. Absolutely. So let's get into the futures real quick, and I'm going to run through these as quickly as possible, shall we? I don't know why I got crude up. I don't want to look at crude. Let's look at the ES, shall we? ES 15-minute chart. Whoa, look at that stair step and parabolic boomer. Paraboomer. It's our 4-hour chart. So we do have some resistance. We're coming into some resistance. We got a little supply zone way up here. Way up here. We got this little supply zone. And it's basically this zone right there. Come on. All right. Got a little supply zone up in that generalized area. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or is this a 1, 2, 3? Yeah. All right. Well, what does Fib tell us? What does the Fibonacci tell us? Mr. Fibonacci. Mr. Fibonacci. Doesn't tell us much. So what am I looking at here? So, I mean, we're starting to run into some overhead resistance, right? There's some supply zones up here. There's a lot of sellers coming in, especially when you get close to the 4720 level, right? There's a zone here, and there's a zone up here, right? I mean, we can just call this the zone. Oops, get back up here. I mean, I'd be willing to say that's the zone. Like, it's pretty big. So we're coming into a supply zone. Typically what that means is that we're going to sell out of our lower shares. So there are sellers in here, or buyers. Sellers, right? We're a seller. Potential pullback. It would be like if you see it, there's a Wu-Tang reversal there, right? So 1, 2, right? So this is a 1, 2, 3 reversal. Here, here. All right. That's the Wu possibly setting up. I think it's just going to be tough today, right? With lack of volume, pretty extended. I don't want to say short it because this could rally to, you know, test all-time highs again, but definitely be wary of some of these key levels, right? So I like this, right? That 47.23, right? Those are previous highs. We've double tapped that before, and look at the pullback off of that. So rally, pullback, failed support, pullback to support, big move up, rejected, big move down, and then we're slowly stair-stepping our way back up. From a daily perspective, this is what the ES looks like, right? We're coming into that triple top, right? Or rejection. Looking at ES on the old 10-minute, rally, pullback, rally, consolidate, right? Consolidation overnight. Pretty decent move to the upside, lack of volume. If I were you, I would go and find the highs and the lows and draw the highs and lows, right? Highs and lows, and use those as support levels. Okay, that's the ES. NQ is probably pretty much the same, similar story. ES daily, it's got a little bit more room to move, right? Remember I talked about the standard. Let's see if I can. I wish I could make that one single line bigger. I'll have to look at the coding of this indicator and see if I can make that one pop. But this is the mean, right? This is the generalized direction, because stocks aren't flat, right? You don't trade in a flat market, you trade in angle. So this is the angle, I don't know, what do you call it? This is the mean, right? We're coming right up to it on the NQ. We'd like to reject off that level, right? Rejection, right? Powered through it, back tested, up, back tested support, rejected through up and down like a roller coaster, right? So it wouldn't be unheard of to see, you know, to see a little pullback, right? Or a little of a rally through to the 618 and then maybe pull back. So came up to the 382, right? Pull back up to the 50%, broke through that. The 618 is at 16,280.25 is the upside target. We have support coming in at 16,129 on the NQ, right? So this is that median line, that purple line there, and that's the 618. So a little bit of a rally, or we chop. So I think those fib levels are pretty dang close. Going into today, like I said, overhead target at 16,280.25. Resistance at 16,250. Support down here at 16,129. And that was the NQ. Looking at the YM. How am I doing on time? I only got about 3 minutes to get through this, so I have to hurry. All right, looking at the YM. Poor little Dow, right? A poor little Dow. Come on. Dow on the daily Dow. Dow. All right. Oh, grabbed the wrong one. My bad. All right, pullback, rallied up through the 618. Backtest, backtest, backtest. So we're through the 618 on the Dow. We've got room. I mean, there's a supply zone that runs basically right here. We're currently trading at about 1 deviation away from the mean. I think the Dow 3-bar play, if there's a pullback to the 618, which is also really close to that previous high, right? Support at 35,600. Overhead target of, let's look at the 4-hour on this. Right, previous highs. It's just the Dow's so tough for me. I don't know why. It just is. It just is. Oh, come on now. I clicked you. Thank you. Maybe a little bit of a pullback for a continued move up. This could be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's look at it on the 10-minute. Pretty good move pre-market, right? I think we definitely got room to the upside. All right, the old Russell. So the Russell's been surprising lately, right? The Russell's been doing its job. It showed up to work on time. It's not in the corner smoking crack like it was back here, right? It almost got fired this day. The Russell is doing pretty okay. It's just, I mean, look at the chop. It's just super chopalistic. I think we might see some rotation into the Russell next year. There we go. If I were to look at this from a fib perspective as well, we're coming right up to the 382. So here's the move. We were pulled back. We rallied up to the 50%. Couldn't break through it. Pulled back even lower, right, to this previous low from back in middle of July. That support held. Now we're trying to get through this 382. If we break through the 382, right, we could back test it and then move up to the 50% retracement. If that happens, that sets us up for the Wu-Tang, right? But what may happen is, right, I drew that wrong. My bad. I drew that wrong. Could form an inverse head and shoulders. That's one way to look at it, right? 1, 2, 3. The other way to look at it would be this. Right. So we want to take the trade on the break of the 2. So I definitely drew that one wrong. That's the 2. So that would be, what's this? My bad. I don't know why I'm having issues with drawing Elliott waves today, but I think it's because I want to, yeah, there we go. Right. 1, 2, 3, break of the 2, the high of the 2. So break out 2281.60. I think we retest the 618 at 23.9, and then move on up to retake previous highs. So I do think we're going to get some rotation into the Russell soon. Okay, ZB, this is bonds, this is TLT. TLT is being a little snitch, forming a little bit of a wedge here. See what do you see what I see? Do you see what I haven't paid attention to the chat at all, so if there's stuff going on in there, I'm not even looking at it right now. So I think additional chop on TLT, or this is ZB, this is a 10-year bond. Rally. So we could pull down for a little bit today if we break this previous low support here. I think it's going to be a great day for the ES. So that rotation out of bonds into the ES is what we look for. So keep an eye on it. Contrarian, it bounces off of here and we get a rally today, which would be bad for the ES. Okay. MJY, which is the Japanese US futures contract on the daily. All right. Super downtrend, currently trading right at that median. If you see this could be an inverse head and shoulders, so maybe a move up. Again, we want the yen to come down. We don't want the yen to be high. So it's, if this support level cracks, let's see if I can, right, if that purple line cracks to the downside, then I think we get a pretty decent move today, right? It's coming down, but it could bounce off of this level for support, right? Okay. Crude. Looking at crude on the daily. What's it doing? All right, crude's trying to make a move, right? 1, 2, 3. Break that 3 reversal. It wants to be up here in this on this purple line I'm about to draw. If I can find close enough. All right, crude wants to come back up here. Looking at it from a fib perspective. Right, it's coming up into the 50% retracement overhead resistance. It's rejected it before, right? But it's coming all the way from, what is that? 4 deviations. 3 deviations from the mean. So if crude breaks, you know, currently, basically, if it breaks where it's at now. Here, let me grab that. There we go. I think that's a pretty accurate fib. Ooh. All right, so if crude can break this current overhead resistance that it's at right now, right, which is this. Crude breaks that and gets above 73.92. I think it sees 76. If it rejects it, it's got support at 71.21, and then may move down to this red line at 68. Okay, but I think we may get a bounce play. So one of these. Possibly. Okay. And then finally gold. We've noticed that when gold is up, crypto's down. So gold on the daily, look at this chop fest. This is the entire 2021 gold is chopped. From lows at 1672 to highs at 1900. It's just been super choppy. Last chopadiscus, I don't know. Give me a chop word for it. But basically, there's our mean. Right? There's the mean. Little head and shoulders forming. Rally, pullback, support. Right? It's trying to make its move. If it takes out some highs. I think that's pretty accurate, right? Pullback, rally to hit the 50% retracement, came back, found support at the mean, right? Rally back up, possible pullback move. So if gold 1798 breaks, it's got support at 1789. If it can get above 1814-ish area, I think it moves to 1830 and eventually 1879, right? But yeah. All right, that's it for the futures. For the futures, I'm going to move it back down to the 3-minute chart and see what we got going on here. All right, ES, Chop Fest. Let's look at the 5-minute chart, shall we? It's probably a better one. Oops, what did I do there? Didn't mean to do that. Oh, what is NQYM? All right, gold. This is supposed to be crude. There we go. Bonds and the yen. 5-minute chart. So, yes, we rallied into that supply zone, right? We're currently pulling back. Let's hope we find some support around 46.93. It would be good if we open on the lows, then we can get a rip. If we open at the highs, we just have to play that gap fade. So, it's just going to be an interesting day. All right, moving on. FlowTrade. Ooh, that took a long time. I got to figure out how to make that faster. All right. Thank you for joining me. Let's find some plays for the day. Good morning, Jose, Johnny, Laz, Anthony. Anthony was here first. Good morning, Anthony. Peter, welcome to the stream. Terry. Johnny. I don't know the Russian name. Predicted Trades is in the house. Let's go. D-Ray, what's up? Ludwig, morning. All right. Predicted Trades. I got you 10% off on Predicted Trades, Johnny. I don't know if they have a trial. Ask them. All right, so let's get into it. What's up, Flight of the Zenith? I recognize you. I recognize you. All right, here we go. All right, so what you see in front of you is a smart money, dark pool, and block trade algorithm software provided by FlowTrade. What it does is it tracks smart money, large institutions, hedge funds, block trades, dark pools. It tracks the big boys. It creates what's called the flow index algorithm. The algo is the purple line you see in front of you. The white bars are price action. My algo, I can switch from the flow index algo. This is both dark pool and regular algorithm. This is the normal algorithm, which I like to follow, and this is the dark pool algorithm. So we typically stick with the normal algorithm, as you can see here. They're working on me being able to market my charts with different colors like I used to do. So just note that that's coming in. Okay, if you have requests, get them into me now. I'm going to start at the top of the list and work my way down. Okay, we have a request for AMD, Tesla, Laz. Please pick one for now. Affirm. Morning. All right. So was it Gilead? Okay. All right. You want to look at UNH. That's a good one to look at. Airbnb and United Airlines for sure. Then we're going to look at Google, Netflix, Shopify, what am I missing here? Oh, Facebook and Nvidia. Okay. All right. So let's do this. AMD, Tesla, Firm, and Shop. Okay, so AMD is trading above the algorithm, right? I'm going to walk through all of these real quick, and then I'll focus in on each individual one, okay? AMD is trading above the algorithm. The algorithm looks like it's consolidating a little bit. They've been net selling for the last couple of weeks. That doesn't surprise me. There's a little bit of bearish divergence. So this is trading with price action. If price can get above its previous highs, 147 at that 147. I don't think it's got enough juice to launch, but definitely nice little bull flag. The algo, if it curls up and can get above its previous highs, I think we can see a pretty strong move from AMD today. Oh, yeah, that's right. 15 15-minute. All right, Shopify. The algo's been trading specifically with price action, kind of downtrending a little bit. Algo did a Wu-Tang reversal, 1, 2, 3, reversing today. If the algo can clear its previous high and continue to make higher highs and higher lows, right? This has got some resistance coming in. Is it this one? All right, so if the algo can break there, and so it broke that one. Broke that one. It's looking pretty decent for a move today. I'm really trying not to be biased because I want to get these 1430 calls and just rip them today. All right, a little bit of a zone right there. Let's just hope SPY doesn't, or shop doesn't chop all day. With the algo pointed up, I think that it might allow it to rip through this little zone it's in. Oh, looky there. Looky there. I drew that line, right? And there's a dark pull level right at 140 or 1407 that came in on the 3rd. We also have another look. I should just draw lines for block trades. We got a dark pull level at 1320 and then a dark pull level at 1282 that's providing a little bit of support, right? There's the dark pull levels. Okay. So, rally, pullback to support, right? Previous low support. Looking to make that move above 1407. We've got another previous high right here, so looks like this level. What's that? 1440. So there's definitely a move there if the algo can continue to move to the upside. Tesseract, right? Going into yesterday, we had that bullish divergence. The algo is currently pulling price action up with it. I think Lon's done selling. As far as, oh dang it! I wanted to see if I could do it. Nice little gap up. The algo is making higher highs and higher lows, right? This is good. The algo is coming into previous resistance here, though. So it broke that. It broke above previous resistance. Let's just do this. There, you guys can see that. See that a little better. So the algo broke above previous resistance. It back tested and it's using it as support. Definitely broke its downtrend. So algo zone would be kind of here, right? Kind of that level there, or is it going to be this one? It might be this one. All right, algo's got a target of a 1050. Price action's making a decent move, right? It's holding support. All right, look at this little trend line. Trend line support, a little bit of a wedge breakout. It's got a little bit, well, it filled the gap. So Tesla's currently trading in the zone, right? If it can break into this zone, then it can move its way up. I like 1031, 1050, right? Let's see what the block trades have to say about that. So if you're new, what you see as far as block trades are concerned, the blue lines are dark pull block trades, red lines are regular block trades. I used to draw a white line when a dark pull and a regular block trade printed on top of each other. I can't really do that anymore, but it's pretty good with my dark pull levels. Dark pull level at 1010, that's going to be your immediate overhead resistance, right? Since I drew a line there, it's not going to show me. This block came in yesterday after the close, right? So if it can break above previous highs, Tesla can run. I think it's got a little bit of strength and conviction coming in. To the downside, 966 is regular block trade support. If it breaks, we've got blocks at 997, 1000, 1004, but there's a cluster at 1010, right? So that's the key level for Tesla. Look for this algo to continue to make its move up, right? That algo can move up to previous highs, right? Like to see that move right there. Okay, that was Tesla. Affirm's got the most bullish divergence I've seen in a long time. So what this means is that they've been net buying Affirm since back on the 6th, right? Where price action has... Where's it at? So price action's been steadily increasing. We're coming up into pretty much overhead resistance here, right? There's this... All right, there's a little zone there. Last time it entered it, it rejected it. So uptrending support, the algo is consolidating, right? The algo has not made a higher high. As a matter of fact, it's making lower lows. So that bullish divergence may be starting to play out. I'd like to see the algo. Come on, sucker. I'd like to see the algo reverse and move back to the upside. I don't think that any of this is trend support. It's not, unfortunately. If it was, it would be from way back here. Yeah. All right, so Affirm's got overhead resistance at 103. If it breaks 103, I think a nice 105 target, but above 107, then we hit 113, 115 to 120. Looking at the block trades for Affirm in the last 5 days, I don't like to go further than 5 days. I think that it just creates a bunch of noise. So this is what we did. We rallied up. We hit previous low. We hit dark pool block trade at 103.63, and another one at 102.20. Right, created a little bit of a support resistance zone right there. Right. My eyes are bugging this morning. Right, we ran into those dark pool levels. Those are probably some pretty significant sell orders. Right, imagine price selling off. Right, they're buying into this sell-off. Right, they started buying, and they started buying back on the 6th. So they're buying as price is coming down. Right, you get some dark pool orders, a little bit of profit taking. Right, because they're coming in midday. Right, a little bit of profit taking. Right back to dark pool support, coming in at 99.89, 98, and then 97. So we got some dark pool support here. Like I said, if the algo can start moving back up and not break this downtrend support that it's created, I think the firm might actually make a pretty decent move going into next week. Okay. All right, so the next request was for Gilead, United Healthcare, Airbnb. United Healthcare, Airbnb, and United Airlines. All right. All right, so Gilead, we got the little bat ears right here, so I'm not super bullish on this stock anymore. It did break overhead resistance. The algo is curling around off of previous support zone. If the algo is going to have to do a little bit of work here, right? So come on. Right, broke previous support. It's trying to break its way back through. It does have, right, it is downtrending. It's making lower lows and lower highs. There's a little bit of the zone here that the algo has used before, right? Right, support, broke its support, couldn't make it up, finally broke its support and made its move, yanked price action up with us. The algo is curled up, right? There's a little bit of bearish divergence, right? Right, so if Gilead backtests that 72 level and continues to move up, the algo should curl up with it. I don't see like clearly defined divergence that we like to see, like for example United Healthcare over here. So UNH is just rallying, right? Price action is consolidating, or excuse me, the algorithm is kind of flat, right? It's just kind of moving along with price action. There's no clear divergence. It's a pretty big move, 474 to 494. Oh, I forgot to show block trades. Sorry. Block trades on Gilead, right? We've got dark pull levels at 72.43. We ran into that resistance right off of regular block trade support at 72, right? To the downside, if either one of those crack, we've got 71.80 and 71.63 as additional support. Just keep an eye on what the algo does today. As far as United Healthcare, all right, the algo is downtrending, right? It's not making higher highs and higher lows, but it's also making a little bit of a wedge, right? So if it cracks, if it breaks overhead resistance and moves to the upside, I think it might have enough juice to, right, get United Healthcare past its, I mean, you see the wedge, right? There's just a wedge there. I don't know. Okay, so there's not enough divergence to really give you that volatility that we need to make money. This is just a melting up while the algo's consolidating into a wedge, right? So we'd need some sort of, something happening with United Healthcare, right? This is just melting. So we have dark pull resistance at 494.43, right? If we can get over that, right? If those aren't sell orders or taking profits, they very well could be, and there could be a bunch of sell orders. So looking for a pullback to 485.77, which is the next dark pool level. Let's see. So that came in 485.77 came in at the close on the 21st, right? Buy orders, right? So a little buy order right there. Okay. Airbnb. So we've got bearish divergence on Airbnb, right? So price action is moving in one direction. Price action's moving in one direction, coming up into previous overhead resistance. It's coming up into that overhead resistance, right? But it is forming a little bull flag. The algo is making lower lows and lower highs, right? So smart money's taking profits and getting out of their positions. Come on. I don't know how that worked, but seriously though, come on. All right. Trying to be too fast with my hands, right? So the algo's in a selling channel, downward channel, right? On little pops, right? See how it pulled price action up with the, right? This divergence is played out. This divergence is played out, right? So this downward divergence might need to play out. If Airbnb breaks its upward, its upward trend line and takes out its current support levels, right? Look for a move to the downside. As far as block trades are concerned, I'm doing pretty good on time now. Feeling pretty good. All right, so we've got regular block support at 165.66, right? Which is, right, this came in at the close on the 21st, right? So a bunch of buy orders, right? Came in at the close. Oh, sorry, a bunch of sell orders. Sell over inflation, right? Overhead resistance. We have there's a bunch of buy orders, I would assume, right? 165.66, and then the same day, or the next day, we've got some dark pool levels coming in 168, 169. So a little $5 move, all right? A little $5 move right here. But this is definitely forming a bull flag. If it can break up to the upside, then you play the momentum up to the next support level, right? Which is basically that low, or potentially this high right here. Contrarian, if those dark pool blocks are sell orders, right, then we're going to move back down to 165 and then possibly down to 160, which is longer term support. I mean, I kind of like I'm torn. Wish I could change colors quickly and easily. All right, United Airlines, the regular algorithm has been selling off, so this is bearish divergence, which means that smart money is getting out of their positions, right? They started, so price action trading with the algorithm, right? From a low, right? So the algo is, they're pretty much net selling, okay? A little pop that we've got, news related or whatever. It makes sense, right? So hopefully that makes sense to people and why. So if I own a bunch of positions from up here when I was trading with it, or from right here when I was trading with it, right? I see price action rallying, I'm going to sell out of my positions, right? So I'm taking profit instead of buying into it. Okay, United Airlines is coming into overhead resistance. Previous highs, right? There's a zone, definitely from 45 to about 46.83. Lots of block trades. The more red, so red is usually retail as well. Oh, sweet, we got a white line. All right, so a white line level is when a regular and a dark pool print on top of each other, like here in United Airlines at 44.50. So we've got regular and a dark pool level that are printed at this level here. Usually that's an inflection point. Draw it on your screen. You'll see that price action interacts with that a lot. It'll either raise it as support or resistance, right? But it's a good baseline. So we rallied up, overhead resistance, broke through those regular and dark pools. Currently resting there as support. We have a dark pool at 43.93. Right, that should be your downside support. And that's here. It may be a little early, but UL could be forming a little head and shoulders, right? Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. We've got lots of regular and dark pool levels down here at 41.62. So it's trading. Oh, come on. All right, so it's got some downside targets. Can you please just... Thank you. Like I said, if it breaks 44.52, you know, the algo's taking profits. Also, the algo could very possibly be running into regular block trade resistance at 39.46. If the algo can get up and over this, then I might change my position on this, but currently I'm bearish on UAL. Okay. What else do we get? Airbnb, UAL. All right, so let's look at the big boys, shall we? Let's look at Google, Shopify, Netflix, and Nvidia. Okay, so I still have Facebook and anything else from the requests? Well, I have to read all this. SPY? You want to look at SPY? Okay, I'll do SPY as well. Apple. Okay. SPY, Apple. Okay. All right, look at Google. Look at this monster move. So Google. We had that bullish divergence earlier this week, right? Where the algorithm was up and price action was right about here, right? Google's still very bullish. The algo pulled back yesterday to support. It's got more room to the upside. If the algorithm can crack its previous high, right here, you see this? I'm going to be paying attention for the algo to break above that previous high. If it can do that, it can get super woody with Google, right? Google's coming into some previous overhead resistance here, and it's currently trading in a support zone here. Okay, nice little rally, pull back to support, and continued pop. It's got room above right? It's got room to move. So price action's pulling, or the algo's pulling price action up with it. Still pretty bullish on Google. It's got, let's see, did it break this overhead resistance? Look at that. That's gorgeous. That is gorgeous. Resistance, pullback. Broke through resistance to previous highs, right? Which is here. Right? So this previous high, it couldn't get through. It came back, it broke support, and it gapped down. It's been chopping its way back up through it. It's trading with the algo. The algo they finally started buying into Google here, right? So smart money came in at the lows, and they're pulling price action up with it, right? Google rallied up, hit that previous resistance, pulled back, consolidated, went forward again. If it can get through 29.31.87, it's got room up to 29.43, and then finally 29.64. Okay, let's look at the block trades, shall we? Boom, shaka laka laka laka. 29.12.74 is a dark pool level that came in on the 22nd. 29.20.40 is another dark pool level that came in on the 22nd. And then finally, 29.24 is the final dark pool level that came in on the 22nd. So yesterday, lots of dark pool trading in, lots of dark pools coming in after the close, right? All of these came in after the close. So if there's a bunch of buy orders, since we're pulling price action up with this, I think we can yank Google up into, you know, those previous levels I just talked about, like here, right? Okay, contrarian, if we crack previous support at 29.12, I think we come back down. There's a, I mean, these are pretty, well, these may have all been eaten up already. We got a regular block trade at 283 or 28.32 that came in at the close on the 20th. So here, right? And here, came in there. That caused price to pull back and rally through it. We also have some dark pull levels down here at 28.46, right? So overall, I'm bullish on Google. I want to see the algo break above its previous high and continue on to the upside. Looking at it on the 1 minute chart, this is the move yesterday. If you want to see what it looked like, here, let me show you what it looked like. Let me just go fast on this, okay? Oh, maybe I can go fast. Oh, fast isn't working. All right. You guys watch that for a second while I take a drink. You can see how the algo will start changing the direction. See how that massive rally up right there? Oh, I lost it. Oh, bummer. All right, I'll do a deeper dive into that one day. Okay, Shopify. I already went over Shopify, right? Didn't I? I did. I'm not gonna go over five. Ooh, did I? I can't remember. Yeah, I did. Wu-Tang reversal. Okay. Spy. All right, moving down here to Netflix. See this? This is bullish divergence that's been traded out. Let me show you what that looks like. So the algo started moving in one direction, where price action started moving in the other direction, right here at this point. All right, so for illustration purposes, I'm not over exaggerating that, okay? So price or smart money is buying into price falling, right? They're buying orders as price is coming down, right? The divergence finally trades out here, where as price is coming up, they start selling out of their positions, right? So they start taking profit, right, as price is coming up. Okay, if you have billions of dollars, you can't just slap the ask, right? You've got to be a little bit more strategic about it, or else you're gonna cause, you know what you're gonna cause? You're gonna cause a fake inflated price, and you're actually gonna end up losing money. Okay, so the divergence in Netflix is traded out, right? The algo is currently consolidating. It's kind of forming a little bull flag. It's got some overhead resistance, right? So if the algo can maintain its support level, right? Let me get rid of some of this stuff. So if the algo can maintain its current support level and break out of this overhead wedge, right? It's overhead resistance. Right? If the algo can break out of that little flag, it can continue to pull price action up with it, which is what we want to see. Maybe it's easier to see it this way. Is that better? My bad. Right? My bad. I got everything in there. Okay. So if the algo breaks out, then it can pull price action up with it. Right? Because price action is currently bull flagging as well. So it's trading 1-to-1. Targets on Netflix. I like the previous high. Right? I also like this previous high over here. So the move from 720 to 732 is pretty decent, right? However, it's got to get above, right? It's got to get above this low over here at 715. Yeah, oh, that sucks. Right, so you see what I'm saying? So if it can get up into this little zone right here, right? That's a pretty decent zone. That runs, sweet. That runs to 620. So 615 to 620, right? That's a pretty solid move. Above 620, we get a decent move from 620 to 630. If you want to trade the 630s for next week, make sure the algo breaks out of its overhead resistance and starts making higher highs and higher lows. Okay, block trades for the last 5 days. I love it when it's easy to spot these. Look at this. Let me show you the last 10. Shit, let's just look at the last 30. All right, so we have a white line support down here. We have a regular and dark pool that printed at 586 on top of each other. We've got a regular and dark pool that printed at 516 on, or 616 on top of each other, and then all the way up here at 652. So like I don't even want to, like, that's the easiest way to do this. All right, there's a fib level, right? Rallied pullback below the 20. We're coming up to the 50 or 382 retracement at 620. That's the next logical move. I wish I can't draw my squares anymore, or else I would. Maybe we'll just do this. Maybe we'll do it this way. All right. So remember, I used to be like, there's, you got a zone there, you got a zone here. There. All right, we got a zone there, and then we've got a big old regular and dark pool block trade zone up here. Seriously, it's so frustrating. Fine, there we go. All right, so what is price gonna do? It's gonna pull back, try to find support. It breaks it. It's gonna come down here. You know, it's gonna trade. It's gonna trade around down here for a little bit. It's gonna come back up in here, and if it breaks through it, then the next move is to the upside. Okay, there's a white line right there. Right, we have regular and dark pool prints on top of each other, and we've got one here. Right, so, and then obviously that means that there's going to be another one up here. Right, pretty easy move. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's the Netflix. Moving on. All right, SPY and Apple are the next ones, right? Oh, I didn't do. Did I do Facebook yet? No, I didn't do Facebook. All right, let's look at Facebook, and then I gotta go. I need a little bit more time in the mornings than I used to prep, just because I've got a lot more stuff to look at. Okay, so this is a perfect example of divergence playing out. As you can see, we have divergence that occurred here. Well, what does that mean? That means the algorithm started selling off as price action was increasing. Why? Because if you own a bunch of shares here and price starts rallying in your smart money, you're selling out, right? Divergence must always play out. The divergence started here. Price is going to follow the algorithm. Price came down, divergence traded out. Smaller divergence occurred here, right? That divergence traded out as well. Okay, so what we've got going on here currently is we've got smart money buying into Facebook again, causing Facebook to move up to previous overhead resistance. Okay, a little bit of a falling channel. Oh my God. So if Facebook can get out of its own way, whoa, that's funky. Oh, I hit the 1 minute chart. I was on the 1 minute chart the whole time. That's lame. It's fine. I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did. All right, but Facebook, a little bit of a falling channel. Okay, if Facebook can take out previous highs, right? 331. Notice the algo, and come on, the algo was steady buying. I don't know how I feel about this drawing tool. Right, the algo steady buying in an up channel, price action's coming down. What has to happen? The divergence has to trade out. The price is going to move back up to test the algo. Okay. Prior to this week, remember there was a bunch of net selling in Facebook. What the hell, dude? Facebook was net selling, and I was like, oh, the algo may be consolidating, which is what it's doing. Right? Consolidating in that zone. It's even smaller than that. It's like this. Right? You can see that. If it can continue to either consolidate or start moving to the upside, okay, Facebook has to get out of its own way. I don't even know what's going on. That's pissing me off, though. I got to move away from Facebook before it goes bananas. Let me refresh this. I guess it just didn't want to keep up with me. All right, well, that loads. Let's check in on futures. Nice pullback on the ES, NQ, YM, Russell. Right, come back down. Don't leave without us, please. Don't leave without us. It needs to come back down, or we're gonna gap fade at the open. Shit. That's the move. I'd like it. So let's see, we've got what, 27 minutes, right? 5, 10, 15, 20. If we can come back down to open around 46.94, then we get this move in the day. If not, then we play the fade at the open, which is gonna suck for longs. Okay. Dang it. It's so sad it left without us. All right, SPY. I'll try to go a little bit slower in SPY and see if it freaks it out, okay? All right, so the SPY algorithm ran into some overhead resistance at 462.55, okay? It's currently forming a little bit of a bull flag, right? If it can bounce here and get above its previous resistance, it's got room to the upside. If you notice that there's the upside target for the algo, right? It wants to get up into here and kind of trade within that zone. So it needs to break up into there. Price action is obviously bullish, okay? With SPY coming into some previous overhead resistance in this area here, okay? I don't have my rectangle tool, so I can't. Oh, shift. All right, so pullback, chop, 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 failed, chop, 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 rally, pullback, rally, chop, down, down, down. All right, so we have a little bit of bearish divergence. If the algo can maintain support and move back up to the upside, SPY might go up and hit previous levels. Contrarian, if it breaks, it's going to come and back test these previous highs that it had. As far as block trades are concerned on the SPY, there's a ton. Obviously, it's the SPY. Looking at the last 5 days is still too much data. Let's look at the last 3 days, which is a lot of data still. How about the last 2 days? Okay, the last 2 days on SPY, we've got all right, so we have dark pool resistance. There we have dark pool resistance at 467.69, which is right where we're at now, right? Okay, we have regular block trade support, regular block trade or dark pool support at 466.79. If that support breaks and the algo breaks its support, look for a downside move back to about 464. They're going to start taking profit at 465. So they're going to pull back from 467 to 466, 465. If it takes out yesterday's lows, it's going to be a pretty quick move down to 464 or even possibly 462. Okay? Contrarian, if we break above 468 and use that as support, and the algo curls around, right? The algo curls around, then I think we can come up and test 460, 469.50, right? That's a pretty big move with the algo pointing down. So when it was pointing down last time, it pulled back to here. So as far as SPY goes, we are at dark pool and regular block trade support now. We've got a dark pool level above us at 468. This dark pool came in yesterday at the close, right? So this could be some sell orders, right? With the algo pointed down, that's what I'd be leaning towards. Okay. And then finally, Apple. Okay. On Apple, we have bearish divergence. So price actions trading with the algorithm, we have bearish divergence occur, price continues to move up, right? Divergence trades out, price actions will come back down to where the divergence occurred, right? Micro divergence played out, trading with price action, trading with price action, trading with price action, trading with price action up until here, right? At this point, smart money starts selling off, well, right? Causing price to go up because they're selling shares and introducing them to the market, right? So they're selling out, price is moving up. If the algo continues to sell off and doesn't break its downtrend resistance, right, which it did, price action should pull back. However, right, that divergence may not be done. Let's see, that divergence, let's see, trading with price action. So the divergence occurred approximately here. At 170 level, right? Price is coming up into some overhead. It's got previous highs it's going to have to contend with at 170. Was that 175? 176.53. I think that would be a good overhead target. The algo did break its overhead resistance, so if it breaks through, it can continue to trade up with price action. Okay. We also have a previous high. Come on. We also have a previous high here at 179.50. And then finally up here at 182.30. Okay. So price action is coming up to previous resistance. The algo is breaking through, right? We'd like to see the algo continue to move up to the upside. All right. From a regular block trade, dark pool block trade perspective, I'm still not getting done in enough time. Last 5 days, there's a ton. I'm going to go ahead and break it down to the last 3. Okay. So we rallied up through regular block trade resistance at 174.68. Currently dark pool resistance at 174.64, right? That's the current dark pool levels that we have to get above, and those came in at the close yesterday. So there may be some sell orders taking place there. Expect a little bit of a pullback to regular block support, 174.68. Keep in mind, there's not going to be I don't feel like there's going to be a lot of smart money in the market today. I think it's going to be very retail driven. So, Apple's got some overhead resistance it's going to have to get through, right? Looks like it broke it. I'll back test it for support. If the algo breaks through that, we can see a move back up to the upside on Apple. Okay. That's it for me. Thanks for joining me. I'm Dark Pool Algo. I'm here every morning, Monday through Friday. I did go over AMD, but I can pull it up for you real quick. I got to get prepped for the day. I've got at least 20 minutes of prep work, but okay. Amazon, this is bullish divergence. This is what bullish divergence looks like. I know everybody's like, oh, everything is pointing down. What's he talking about? This is bullish divergence, right? This is the algo net buying, right? Smart money's been net buying Amazon since the 6th, right? They've been buying into this. They started buying into this pullback here, right? They're like, hey, we want to buy into this, right? So net buying, divergence played out, right? So as far as Amazon's concerned, even though it's Amazon Friday, and I wouldn't be bullish on Amazon going into a Friday, I am now, because look at this. Look at this gorgeous, giant, massive divergence that's occurred. Okay. Right? The algo's steady, making higher highs and higher lows, so it's pulling price action up with it. As far as levels go, 34.50, right? 34.43. If 34.43 upside target, 34.17 support. If it breaks 34.71, it's gonna get super woody, right? So there's a move here. I would target the 34.70s, taking profit at 34.40, and then letting one run to 3,500. Okay. AMD, the algo's consolidating. It's trading with price action to some degree, right? If it can break its overhead, if it can break its previous, like this overhead resistance here and move up, we like to see a move like that. That's right. That's occurring like NVIDIA. Price is trading with the algorithm. We like to see it move up. There's some funky resistance ahead for AMD. It's bull flagging. Like, this is a gorgeous chart. Like, I've been milking AMD all week, right? Bull flag, breakout, target, right? Target 147 as the high. You know, I think that's just a pretty easy move. The algo's got to get up. It's making higher highs and higher lows recently. So I think that it's pretty bullish on AMD. I do have to run now. Sorry, I'm behind. I'm going to be dependent upon the chat again. I'm not going to be prepared. I'm not going to be like, oh, I got my stuff ready to go. No, I'm going to be behind. But that's all right. As long as everybody can see a little bit of information here. As far as maybe some other plays, let's see. Oh, there's an AMBA. Dude, I called that out this week. This is from the weekend watch list. Did you play it? I hope so. I called it out at the beginning of the week. 178 to 197. It's a $200 move. Or, sorry, 178 to 197. $30 move. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Some other divergence plays that I like are just, I don't know. Everything I called out earlier this week's hit. So, Snow might be a fun one to trade, right? Snow's very bullish. Algo's trading with price action, right? Targets on Snow, 361, 370. Oh my gosh. I gotta go. Thanks for joining me. Happy, merry holidays, however you celebrate. I really appreciate you supporting me. It's been a great year. I'm looking forward to 2022. If you have requests, comments, suggestions, reach out to me. If you can't reach me directly, email me, algo@darkpoolcharts.com. I'm sure you can reach me on Twitter. Thanks for the support. I'm looking forward to 2022. Everybody stay safe.